not attempt to adjust your device screen. We are in control of the broadcast. We control the horizontal. We control the vertical. The time has come. Please stand by for a live transmission from Halloween Daily News. Yes. It is that time once again. Monday night. We are live. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. Hello, Haddonfield, and happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome to it. If you're new here, my name is Matt. We're Halloween Daily News, and this eerily early evening feast of blood and death that you just found yourself in the middle of. If you're wondering where the hell you're at, well, this is what we like to call Michael Myers Monday Live, our weekly, mostly weekly, sometimes weekly gathering, hangout, geek fest, general celebration of all things Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise. And that, of course, includes 13 feature films, comic books, many different novelizations over the years, tons of merch, an upcoming TV series, and, of course, games, board games, and video games. And we're going to be talking about a little of all of the above tonight. We got a big, fun show, lots of cool news and exciting stuff to talk about this week. And yes, you are not mistaken. Do not adjust your screens. It is earlier than our normal 10:31 p.m. Eastern start time. We are coming at you at a special early start time. Why? Well, maybe because sometimes, you've got your news stories, and sometimes you've got your big news stories that have to interrupt your regularly scheduled programming and go into prime time. And that's what we have this week. We have prime time news stories to talk about with the Halloween video game and, of course, some other awesome stuff that has dropped since our last gathering here on a Monday night for one of these live streams. So thank you all for being here. If you're new, I hope you hang out and enjoy it and participate. And to everybody else, what's up, y'all? Happy Michael Myers Monday. You made it. You made it through another week. You made it through another Monday. And in our case, made it through about another month, just about, since our last live broadcast here for a Michael Myers Monday. So thank you all for being here. Thanks for making time in your evening to hang out a little bit earlier than normal. We'll see how this time slot fits us, and who knows, maybe we'll do it again sometime. But I am excited to talk about, of course, the video game news, and I've got some updates since our last video reports, even since our last article, and some new stuff we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about the expanded soundtracks announcement that came out and the new music that we already have, previewing all of that. And of course, I got a couple other little news bites to chew on this evening as well, mostly some merch-related stuff. So I appreciate you guys being here. We will launch a poll a little bit later on. We'll do some shout-outs before we get out of here. Lots of cool stuff to look forward to, and who knows, might have a flashback video here or there for you guys. So I'm going to check into the live chat here for just a minute. I see a lot of familiar friends lighting it up, firing up their pumpkins. David Suber's in the house, of course. City Kitty is here. Sammy Presley was one of the earlier ones to check in. I know I saw Megan earlier. Jenny has checked in. What's up? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Brett Patrick, one of our illustrious channel members, and Pat, that Halloween movie collector, two of our illustrious channel members. It's only $5 a month, guys, to be a member, and you get early access to tons of pre-recorded content that we produce here in-house at Halloween Daily News, including most of our exclusive interviews, junket interviews, all kinds of stuff. You get it before it goes public, and way before it goes, the audio version goes up on the podcast. And you get all kinds of surprises. Like right now, just a few minutes ago, before we went live here tonight, I put up a pretty cool new video, and it's up for early access for members right now. Over the weekend, Sue and Oziah and myself, we took a little trip west here from the outer rim of North Carolina into Greensboro, North Carolina. Almost a 5-hour drive to go to Woods of Terror. This is a massive haunt. And when I mean massive, it is the most massive, expansive haunt we've ever experienced. It is insane. And they were holding a media event on Saturday night, and they were kind enough to invite us, and so we went out there. We'd never been before, and we were blown away, completely blown away. And we were allowed to go through the haunt actually before it opened for the evening, and get a whole behind-the-scenes tour and lots of cool facts about what was new and what was original. The haunt's been around for almost 35 years. It opened in 91. So anyway, that whole video is up right now, early for members. So when we get done here early tonight, you'll have time, maybe before bedtime, to enjoy some of that if you feel like it. It's a fun one if you are a channel member. And for everybody else, that'll be dropping in the next couple days here on the channel, something to look forward to. Lots of cool interviews are coming up this week as well. And before we get into the news, I do want to remind you guys of our Triple M Crew special sale on all the items we have in stock right now on our online store. That's HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. All items 15% off just for you guys with code TripleM15. That is, actually, it's Triple M Crew 15. MMMCREW15. That's your code, Triple M Crew 15. When you go to our online store at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop, or you can just go to HalloweenDailyNews.com and hit the shop tab up top and check out what we got in stock. We got all kinds of cool stuff, both Michael Myers related and beyond. All kinds of cool vintage Halloween decor, masks, haunt stuff. Check it out when you get a chance, and take advantage of that sale. We don't promote it anywhere else except for on Monday during live streams right here. And technically, anybody watching this on replay that's not on Monday night, then they're welcome to take advantage of it as well. Enjoy. Have at it. Where was I? We were checking in with some of our friends over here in the live chat. Ben Brown. Yes, big week. Totally big week. Breezy's here. City Kitty is checked in. Charles, what's up, man? Tim Leo's in the house as well. Excellent. Got a good crowd finding their way in here tonight. David's here. Awesome, man. Good to see you here live tonight. Appreciate you, man. Red Apple is in the house. Awesome. Kalamazoo. Awesome. Happy Michael Myers Monday to all of you. Appreciate y'all being here. All right, like I said, we do have some news bites before we get into the main meat of our discussion tonight, which are these two really big franchise-related stories we've got. But we do have a couple smaller merch updates that I'm going to hit you with first before we get into that. But before we do any of that, I am going to give just 2 minutes to make sure that you are aware of an event that we are worked very hard to put together upcoming this October, the first weekend in October. This is our new 2-minute promo for tonight's sponsor, the Halloween International Film Festival. The time has come. The time has come, the moment has arrived. The Halloween International Film Festival is back from the dead in 2025, happening at a new, iconic venue that dates all the way back to the silent film era and the dawn of cinema itself on the historic and haunted Outer Banks of North Carolina. This October, the resurrection of the Halloween International Film Festival in October 2025, showcasing shorts and features that celebrate the strange, the unusual, and of course all the horror and wonder of the most hallowed of seasons. Taking place on the Outer Banks of North Carolina at a legendary theater that dates back over a century. The festival features 3 days of independent horror and Halloween-themed films from around the world, as well as networking opportunities and extensive media exposure, all taking place this year as one of the kickoff events for the town of Manio's Halloween Island festivities. Films selected for the Halloween International Film Festival will be shown on the massive big screen at the Pioneer Theater, including Q&A sessions with attending filmmakers, nightly meet and greets, photo ops on our orange carpet, and numerous Halloween Island festivities happening each day in easy walking distance throughout the town. The Halloween International Film Festival is happening October 2nd through 4th, 2025 at the Pioneer Theater in Manio on North Carolina's Outer Banks, presented by Halloween Daily News. All right, we are back live somewhere in the dark. There we are. All right, we are back live. Saying the stream is lagging. All right, I'm going to try to free up some bandwidth, hopefully, and hopefully it was just because we were playing that pre-recorded bit there. But let me know if it continues. And meanwhile, I'll see what I can close up apps-wise here. Free up a little bit more bandwidth. Yes, sir. The Halloween International Film Festival happening October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right here on the Outer Banks, North Carolina. Right in downtown Manio, where the whole downtown area, 13 bars are doing it up for Halloween. They're transforming into Halloween-themed pop-ups, including the bar at the theater where we're at, the Pioneer Theater, their bar. They're doing a whole classic monsters theme, so expect to see Frankenstein and the Bride and so forth there. And that's just at our host venue. Just today on the website at HalloweenDailyNews.com/film festival, if you go or just click on the film festival link, you will see under hotels, I just added discounted hotel info. So if you're thinking of coming in right now, we've got a block of rooms discounted at Hotel Manio, and technically it's walking distance to the theater where we're at. If you are driving, it's just like a few blocks away. And they've got a bar there that's also participating in Halloween Island and transforming into I believe that one's a Frankenstein themed bar as well, I think. And then we've got another motel. It's a few miles away from the theater, but if you want to stay somewhere on the ocean front, this one's located directly on the ocean front. It's a historic motel here called the Cavalier, and they're giving a very generous 25% off their rooms for our film festival attendees. And I just put all that info up on the official website on the film festival page at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Check all that out. Hope to see y'all here on the Outer Banks for our event this October. Let's see. Sonia has checked in as well. Byron is here in the house. What's up, guys? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Appreciate y'all being here. All right, let's get into our first news item of the evening. You may have seen... actually, I don't think we shared this in our socials. But always on the lookout for new franchise-related merch for all of us collectibles out there. And you know I'm a big physical media fan. And we talked a few weeks ago about the new Halloween and Halloween 2 Steelbook releases coming here in 2025. Well, now we also have a new limited edition Steelbook 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray set of course, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. And this is a 2-disc set. Again, it includes the 4K and Blu-ray. And here is the sick new artwork featuring the skull mask that Cochran leaves on Chalice, of course. And the agents, Dick Warlock and his other Silver Shamrock agents here. Pretty good look at the front cover, and here's the back. Nothing too new there, but I really like the back of the Steelbook here, because when you unfold it, it gives us the nice whole picture of the mask, the other half of the mask, and then in the background over here we get the Silver Shamrock factory. So very cool, and very cool that you're seeing the whole thing on a TV set. If you look, if you zoom out, the whole thing is actually a TV set showing all of this. So that's a cool detail as well. Turn it off, and then we open it up, and some really cool moments from the movie, some forgotten moments, just like with the 78 and the H2 Steelbooks. I mean, I love the images that they went with in here. Not the standard go-to images that so many of them go with. So this looks awesome, and it is releasing on October 28th, 2025, available for pre-order right now from Amazon. And I did put an affiliate link to that Amazon pre-order down in the description of this video if you want to snag that. If you haven't yet, I should say, for a lot of you guys, a lot of you collectors here in the house tonight. Also, got to mention our friends over at Spirit Halloween. By the way, I hope you checked out the most recent Spirit Halloween unboxing. They just sent us their annual summer season kickoff mystery box. And spoiler alert, it was Squid Game themed this time. Check out that unboxing elsewhere on the channel if you haven't already, if you're into that type thing. and I appreciate if you are, and even if you aren't and watch it, then I guess I appreciate you even more. But Spirit Halloween has added quite a few more officially licensed Michael Myers items to their website since we last did a roundup. So we're going to look at those real quick to make sure you know what is in stock as we speak, including what they call the Halloween 2 Bling knife accessory. Let's click on that for just a second. It is priced at $19. And yeah, when we zoom in here, we can see the Bling knife. Definitely a little different. I like that the bling has blood. It's bloody bling. I like that. Now, here with the Tubbs Michael Myers rubber duck, shout out to Tubbs. Regular viewers will recall that last year they actually gifted us with the Michael Myers rubber duck. And this was the full-size version. Now, Spirit has both the regular full-size version, which we own, as well as a mini version for $10. The full-size version is $2, and it is just that. It is the classic rubber duck. It's not rubber. It's not squishable like an actual rubber duck. It is a collectible figure. These officially licensed, if you couldn't tell, from Rob Zombie's 07 Halloween remake. Oddly enough, of all the Michael Myers, this is the one that becomes a rubber duck. I file these collectibles, these rubber duck collectibles. I should have brought mine down here to be showing you guys as I was talking. I was thinking about it. Earlier in the week I was going to do it, but then I forgot. So apologies for that. But when I do cut this out of the live into its own report, I will add a link right up here to where you can watch my full unboxing and see my Michael Myers collectible duck. And those of the Universal Monsters as well. Watch that whole unboxing and showcase and review video. But that collectible I file in the It Is Awesome just by the sheer fact that it exists. That somebody said, you know what, we're going to turn horror figures into rubber ducks. And you know what, we're going to do Michael Myers. And we're going to do 07 Michael Myers too. Arguably the most brutal and raw of them all. I love it. Love mine. We already talked about the blanket. I don't know if we've talked about the soft decor H2 collectible figure here. They call him soft decor. I remember seeing him in stores last year, but I don't recall seeing him on the website the last time we did one of these roundups. So there he is, priced at $30. And these new string lights, these H2 string lights, they call them jack-o'-lantern skull string lights, and that is what they are. They are, of course, the iconic poster pumpkin from Halloween 2, 1981. Just one of the most iconic images in this entire franchise, one of the most iconic posters in just all of movie poster history and certainly all of horror history. I love everything about the Skull Pumpkin. I love everything about H2, honestly, but the Skull Pumpkin especially. And I've got string lights that are just a jack-o'-lantern, but they do play the actual theme that I got from like Kmart or Walmart many years ago. I think it was Kmart, actually. I am probably going to have to break down and get these Skull Jack-o'-lantern string lights. I really like them. I really love anything with the Skull Jack-o'-lantern, honestly. Pretty much anything with H2O. But I love that they're doing more with the Skull Jack-o'-lantern. I know they're doing more with the blood tears. Some people like that more than others. I really like that they go with the blood tears only because, again, it's immediately H2. It identifies it. It's like only H2 can lay claim to that. So why not own it? And the same for the Skull Pumpkin, too. So I really dig that. They're priced at $30 as well. And we already talked about the door cover. And now we have this new, it's not really it's a light-up Kalosh. Is that how you pronounce that? I guess. um, it's not a snow globe though, but it does light up on the inside there. See, it looks like it's got 4 lights. It appears, and let's see what his dimensions are. If we could see down here, he is. Well, I don't see his dimensions. There he is. He's about 7 inches high, so not too big. And I saw Pat was in here earlier. I don't know if Pat, that Halloween movie collector, is still in the live chat, but I saw you added this to your collection. I'm curious, did you pick it up at a physical store, or did you have it shipped? Because I saw some photos online. Somebody had theirs shipped in the mail, and it arrived broken, like the glass was all broken and shattered. And honestly, I've had so much bad luck with items getting shipped here and arriving broken in some way. Not just from Spirit, and it's not even really on Spirit, but just I think more on the shipping services. But in whatever case, too often items, especially my Halloween collectible items, have arrived and something has kind of fallen off or broken in transit. So that one, and seeing those posts online, I might want to wait to add until I can hold it in my hand and pick it up at the store. I don't know, but it is $35, 7 inches high, it says. And let's see, was there anything else that we hadn't talked about? We already talked about the mini horror baby, and of course the neon sign that was released earlier. I think we talked about all of these items in the past. You can see what's in stock as of the moment. The full-size horror baby, which we also own, I recommend. And of course, speaking of the skull pumpkin, they've got him back in stock right now. You can score it before it sells out again. $47 as we're recording right now here on Monday night, August 25th. Get it while you can. And look, the 6'3" animatronic is still in stock online as well, $310. And that 11-inch Michael Myers side stubber. Now, if you guys haven't seen my Spirit Halloween unboxing, they were kind enough to gift me a $50 gift certificate in addition to that Squid Game stuff. So I don't know what I'm going to use it on. There's a couple of these Michael Myers items that I could envision using it on that I don't own yet, like that side stepper. That's under $50. Of course, the mini horror baby I don't have yet. That neon sign, that's $50. That could be a good use of it. Those string lights, they're $30. Yeah, the soft plush Michael is $30. I'm going to have to think about this, guys. Oh, I could actually do the skull pumpkin string lights and the bling knife, and I could get them both for $50. Yeah, I have to weigh my options here. It's a lot of cool stuff in stock right now. All right, I will add links to those new items once we're done here for anybody watching this on the replay. Until then, give me your thoughts on the Spirit Halloween 2025 Michael Myers collection. As Spirit stores are opening, this appears to be what the collection is right now. I haven't been to a physical store. There's always a few items that you don't see online that are available in stores. So those items, I don't know what they are right now. I was hoping for the Michael Myers blow mold. We did get the mini horror baby, which I predicted. I predicted the blow mold to match Sam and Ghostface from last year. I haven't seen it yet. A little late in the season if they're going to debut anything else new. So I'm kind of thinking we might have to wait till next year for that one. Fingers crossed for next year, though, for the Michael Myers blow mold. But give me your thoughts on the Michael Myers 2025 collection from Spirit Halloween. All right, speaking of Michael Myers, looking over here in the live chat, I see Mr. Myers has checked in as well. He is lurking silently in the live chat, as it should be. It's not Michael Myers Monday without you, Michael, so thank you for being here. The man himself, that's right. The shape itself. Brett's excited for the Rob Zombie Trick or Treat Studios figures. And yes, the lights are your favorite too so far, Brett. Yeah. I feel like it too. Like those string lights, and again, I've got string lights. They're not even like the official opening credits pumpkin. They're just like generic Halloween jack-o'-lanterns, but they do play the theme. And it was from years ago, probably over 10 years ago, when it was easier for these slightly more generic string light type decorations to get the theme. And then I have a different set of string lights, which are skulls, that also play the actual Halloween theme. But the skull lights, Skull Pumpkin is just such an iconic image and one of my all-time favorite images, and just one of the coolest posters and just one of the coolest things about the franchise. Not to mention H2 rules. I always talk about it. Dick Warlock rules, you guys know. You guys know. I'm preaching to the choir here, or at least preaching to the congregation that's heard me preach 8 million times. Yes, spirits are opening. Some are open right now. I was just looking. They're already open this week. Many more opening as we speak. Brett says they need to slow down on the blankets. I guess because it's just so easy. They could just slap another design on it and just keep them coming. I gotta say, I get more excited. I hear you on things like the throw blankets and stuff. It's like pillows, not so much Michael Myers pillows, but just Halloween pillows in general. It's like, oh my God, there's so many. But I get excited about things more like weird things like the duck. As time goes on, I love cool, like legit, like screen accurate things like the masks and the NECA figures and all that stuff. But I love things like the duck, just again because it exists. Like, are you kidding me? It's kind of like the 25-foot inflatable. Like, just that we live in this world now in 2025 where this stuff actually exists. People have said, you know what, it should exist. And of course it should be Michael that it's licensed to. So I love that. Phil has checked in as well. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. Very cool to see everybody here this evening. All right, hopefully the stream is a little bit smoother now. You guys let me know if you're still experiencing lagging. We always experience a little bit. And again, it being earlier here, prime time, there is more people just online in general, I guess. I did text to Sue, link, free up as much bandwidth as possible. So hopefully they turned off their streams for a little while anyway. Oh, David got the Ben Cooper Michael Myers figure today that Trick or Treat produced. Yes, that one is so sick. That was probably going to be on my priority to own this year too. I'm gonna have to. There's so much. There's so much out there. All right. Sneaky has so many Halloween pillows. Loves them. Yeah. Well, how can you not? They're awesome, but they're. Yeah, there are so many. It's like the throw blankets, the Michael throw blankets, or just any of the characters. There's so many of them. It's crazy. But yeah, I love them all too. I don't know every single one if I could, believe me. Yeah. You guys get it. All right, let's see. All right, since our last live stream, some pretty amazing music news has come out of Haddonfield recently with the announcement that we are getting expanded editions of John Carpenter's soundtrack to Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. Not only that, we're getting a whole new complete collection box set to be released this fall, just in time for our Halloween playlists. And we've even got the first two tracks, one from each of those films released. So we're going to jump over here for a minute to HalloweenDailyNews.com. This story broke pretty soon after our last discussion on this, where Carpenter had teased some kind of announcement coming. His theory, and my best guess, was that it would be these much anticipated, at least much hoped for, expanded editions of Kills and Ends, after they did, of course, release expanded edition of Halloween 2018 soon after the regular edition. So that's what we got. And we also got two previously unreleased tracks with Hunting a Killer, a 1-minute track from Halloween Kills, and Take the Mask, also about a 1-minute track from Ends. And in addition to these expanded releases, the Halloween Expanded Trilogy will be available as part of a deluxe limited box set offered on LP and CD formats. These editions feature exclusive new packaging and artwork by Chris Bilheimer, along with expansive liner notes by music critic Brad Sanders, which include exclusive interviews with John Carpenter and director David Gordon Green. And also included on both box sets are 3 collectible posters designed by Creepy Duck, a box set exclusive poster designed by Chris Bilheimer, and a deluxe lenticular cover that brings the artwork to life. And here is that deluxe lenticular cover that they are talking about for the set that includes all 3, which I know a lot of you are going to be getting and have most likely already pre-ordered. Continuing with the official announcement, the set includes all 3 expanded editions of the Halloween trilogy. And let's see here. The set includes all 3 expanded editions from the most recent Halloween trilogy directed by David Gordon Green, all with new artwork and packaging by artist Chris Bilheimer. 121 tracks, out of which 35 have been previously unreleased tracks across 6 LPs and 3 CDs. It liner note Carpenter, David Gordon Green. Each expanded edition comes with a poster designed by Creepy Duck, plus a box set exclusive poster designed by Chris Bilheimer, and this gorgeous lenticular cover art. And here is the individual covers you can see here. This is for Halloween 2018. Just a gorgeous image of that iconic mask. It has really never looked better. If you ask me, just the mask itself in this image, and in all 3 of these cover images that you're about to see, but it's simple but just so effective, and all you need, and just the word Halloween just lightly behind it. Moving into Kills now. And again, I mean, just a beautiful image. I mean, these could have been the movie posters themselves. I mean, they almost were. They definitely harken back to that, but their simplicity, just gorgeous images. You know, I love my jack-o'-lanterns, my pumpkins, my Halloween atmosphere, that Hallosphere iconography. Let's be honest, we're talking Michael Myers, and nothing says Michael more than the mask, and the mask in these films has never looked better. So that's the Kills cover, and then here the Ends cover. Just gorgeous. And we got those two new previously unreleased tracks. Hunt a Killer from Halloween Kills and Take the Mask from Ends. I love them both. I've been listening to them constantly. It has been a great year for new music. Great year for new music from a lot of my favorite artists actually this year, but from John Carpenter. I mean, just earlier this year, we got two previously unreleased tracks from the Lost Themes Volume 1 10th Anniversary re-release, which was amazing. And now we're getting, what they say, 35 new tracks, and we've just got the first two from these recent films. So that averages about 10, 11 tracks, new tracks, never heard before from each film. And if we take away those two, so about 10 or 11 tracks to look forward to from each film on average, it sounds like. So stoked for this. You can find pre-order info right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com. I will put the link down in the description as well. And I know most of you have probably already pre-ordered as you're watching this. But let me know what you think of this highly anticipated, long-awaited announcement that we are finally getting those extra music cues that we know existed, a lot of which we heard in the films, and they weren't represented on those initial releases. We knew it was coming because they did it with 2018, and that's such an awesome addition to the regular 2018 soundtrack, all those extra tracks in the expanded edition. So super stoked for this. And you guys know, I mean, just always super stoked for more Carpenter music. And that's why I'm wearing my Kills shirt tonight, as a matter of fact, to celebrate more music from Kills and Ends. Very stoked for all that. Now, you give me your thoughts, and give me your thoughts on those two new tracks as well. Again, if you haven't heard them, you can listen to them both right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com. They were released simultaneously last week, and the first one is called Hunting a Killer. It is, of course, by John Carpenter and his bandmates, Cody Carpenter and Daniel Davies, and it is from Halloween Kills. And the second is called Take the Mask, and it is, of course, from Halloween Ends. So if you haven't listened to them, go listen to them, and then, if you have listened to them, once you've listened to them, give me your thoughts. What do you think of those new tracks? How stoked are you for more? And just in general, how amazing and how lucky, how spoiled are we that we got these soundtracks for these last three movies? And maybe now we're going to get more Halloween music, new music, maybe from a little video game coming. Maybe. Could that be? All right. So give me your thoughts on everything we've talked about down there. The big news this week out of Haddonfield is, of course, the video game. Halloween, the game. The long-awaited, much-anticipated video game. First announced last year, officially announced. A little bit of behind the scenes, shifting, changing, and then last week, man, we got a ton of news, and it's still coming. It's been coming. We've got news right up to today to talk about. So, first of all, to catch you up, if you're behind and you don't know what we're talking about, I'm going to play our originally published video report from last week. So this is just a 7-minute recap of where we're at. If you already know, then this will just be your recap, and you can use this time to go use the restroom if you need to, or grab a snack or a beverage, whatever you got to do. And if you need to get caught up, well, here you go. This will get you caught up on our previous report, and then we're going to come back because there's been lots more details that have come out since I published this video report. So check this out on the Halloween video game. Michael Myers is coming to your home to stalk your consoles in 2026 in the official Halloween video game. Hey everybody, Matt here with Halloween Daily News, and that's right, today, August 20th, 2025, we have a long-awaited official update on the Halloween video game. This is that same video game that was first announced just over 1 year ago in early August of 2024, and we had very little details at that time, but it was announced that it was being produced in association with Malik Akkad and the producers and rights holders of the Halloween franchise, and that John Carpenter himself would be, quote, intimately involved with the game. Well, today we have much more details, including the fact that it is set to be released in 2026. Akkad and Carpenter are still involved, with Malik Akkad producing and John Carpenter as executive producer. And there's been some changes behind the scenes, as Halloween will now be published by IllFonic, co-published by Gun Interactive in partnership with Compass International Pictures and Furtherfront. And it is coming to Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and PC via Steam and Epic Game Stores in 2026. Today, the official announced trailer was unleashed, as well as some official stills from the game. That's what you're looking at right here. According to the official website, in this game, players will step into the chilling world of John Carpenter's genre-defining film, now transformed into a suspenseful one versus many stealth horror experience. Put on the iconic mask and become the ultimate slasher, Michael Myers, stalking and executing the citizens of Haddonfield one by one, or striving to thwart Michael Myers' plans as a civilian determined to save the unaware townsfolk before it's too late. So you can play as Michael and do the stalking, stabbing, and killing, or you can play as a civilian of Haddonfield and try to survive the night and save as many people as you can. The description of the game continues, quote, stick to the shadows as civilians seeking out Haddonfield residents to warn them and searching for a way to contact the authorities. As Michael Myers, you can give them a reason to fear the dark and cut the phone lines to prevent the police from ruining his favorite holiday. Whether playing solo in story mode, against bots offline, or facing others in online multiplayer mode, each mode rewards stealth strategy and skillful play. Staying true to the original film, IllFonic masterfully recreates the eerie atmosphere of Haddonfield across multiple maps and authentic locations. With a haunting ambiance and score inspired by the legendary movie, Halloween, the game, brings the terror home in a new experience that will keep both old and new generations looking over their shoulders. Malik Akkad, president of Compass International Pictures and, of course, longtime producer and caretaker of the Halloween franchise, said, quote, we are very excited to have partnered up with the great team at IllFonic to finally bring the definitive digital version of Halloween and Michael Myers to video game fans everywhere, end quote. IllFonic and Gun are coming together to bring this IP to the asymmetrical horror landscape. In this game, in multiplayer mode, you and up to 4 other players can join up to help free your town from death itself. With an array of interactable elements, players will have to team up, be smart, brave, and efficient to aid their friends and the folks of Haddonfield in thwarting Michael Myers. You'll be able to explore various film locations that you know and love across multiple maps, and who knows, maybe you'll find some sweet Easter eggs from this horror masterpiece along the way. Alongside the multiplayer mode, the narrative for single player in Halloween takes on a new shape. Playing as Michael Myers, you can walk through memorable locations from the 1978 classics such as the Myers house or bask in the recreated atmosphere of Haddonfield itself. The idea is to bring players a mix of multiplayer fun with their desire to enjoy an immersive and interactive cinematic experience. The emphasis has been placed on exploration and replayability in the single-player mode. According to the website, from its earliest iterations, this game has been built with the goal of delivering a dynamic, enveloping horror sandbox worthy of the legacy of its iconic source IP. Now, in the trailer that was released today, we get a little bit of footage that you can see here. We have a new character kind of on the run. It's Halloween night, and we do get a great look at the Shape himself in action in the game right here. He looks pretty awesome. I cannot wait to see more from this game. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this news today. This has really been a long time coming, if you ask me. We all knew that the ultimate Halloween video game was coming. This, of course, is not Michael Myers' first appearance in video game form. He has guest starred in many video games, and just last year there was the Retro Realms 16-bit Halloween game that came out, which was a lot of fun. But this promises to be something very special from the creators of Friday the 13th, the game, and the more recent Texas Chainsaw. Very excited for this, and the countdown is on to 2026 when the official Halloween video game will be available. You can actually pre-order it right now. Link is in the description of this video, and you can watch that full announced trailer and read lots more comments from the team and details on this game in our article right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com. We'll put a link to that in the description of this video as well. And now I can't wait to hear from you all. Give me your thoughts on this news in the comments. Are you a gamer? Are you excited for this Halloween game? What console are you going to be playing on? And are you more excited to play as Michael Myers stalking your victims, or to play as one of the residents of Haddonfield and trying to survive Halloween night? Whatever you plan on doing, I want to hear from you. Give us your thoughts down in the comments below, and stay tuned for lots more news and updates on all things Michael Myers, including Halloween, the video game. You're not going to want to miss any of it. Until then, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching. Yes, we are back live. It is Michael Myers, Monday, August 25th. And you are not dreaming. You are living in a world where Halloween, the video game, is 1 year away. That's right. It has been much requested, much sought after, much anticipated. We all knew it was only a matter of time. I've said here before that it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. And, well, it was just about a year ago in August of 2024 when the win became now. And it was first announced. And it was announced that John Carpenter was going to be intimately involved. And again, some changes behind the scenes. And now here we are, IllFonic, working with Gunn. And we do have a little bit of an update since our last report. We've got a couple updates since our previous report on the Halloween video game that I want to make sure you're aware of, because this is all pretty exciting. First of all, on Friday evening, which, by the way, you don't drop a news story late Friday evening unless you want that story to be on the top, literally the top of every news website, because it's the most recent one published on a Friday before most reporters clocked out for the weekend. Well, the Halloween folks behind the Halloween franchise know how to run a news cycle, because they dropped a bombshell Friday afternoon officially confirming that Nick Castle, the original Shape himself, is back to reprise his role as Michael Myers, once again performing motion capture for the new Halloween video game. And that's where we're going to start here tonight with this update, is with this amazing news that Nick Castle who, of course, played the Shape, credited as the Shape in John Carpenter's original Halloween, brought back for Halloween 2018 for a cameo appearance behind the mask and performing the breathing. Another cameo in Kills, and again performing the breathing in both Kills and Ends. And now, why not? Why not? It makes perfect sense, all the sense in the world. If Nick Castle is walking this earth, then he should be doing Michael's walk in any incarnation. And so here he is. This photo shared by the official Halloween movies accounts on Friday evening, August 22nd, to be exact, 2025. Nick Castle once again playing Michael Myers in the motion capture suit, performing motion capture movements, iconic movements of Michael Myers. And this announcement came, partially in response. In all honesty, there was a lot of talk about who was going to do the motion capture. I mean, there's going to be a lot of these reveals coming, honestly. A lot to come as we learn more about this game over the next year. But there was a lot of rumors, I guess, and speculation circulating that another legendary movie performer who has played, worn a mask or two in his day, the great Kane Hodder, was actually going to be doing it for Michael Myers. And part of this came from comments made by Kane himself months ago at a Q&A or an interview that he had done some work for a major IP, and that it was going to blow everybody's mind when we found out who. And knowing that he's, of course, did Jason for the Friday the 13th game and Leatherface for the Texas Chainsaw game. A lot of people were assuming, well, clearly it's going to be this, maybe hoping it would be this. And then we get this announcement on Friday about Nick Castle, which is amazing news. And it's stunning and amazing news and awesome. But then, interestingly, Kane Hodder's official account over the weekend also posted about the game and actually said that Kane is very honored to have worked on this. And that's the exact quote. In fact, worked on this. Very honored to have worked on this. And I say that because that could mean a couple different things. A lot of people have, again, assumed that it means one thing, and maybe it does. But the very interesting thing is that social media post on Facebook is where I saw it. If you go to Kane Hodder's official account now, it's been removed. I went there earlier today to prep for tonight, and it had been removed. So clearly somebody from the game, somebody, from Halloween, whatever, said, hey, can there right now. Now, this assumption would be that, Nick Castle doing the head tilts, doing the walk, doing a lot of these movements, Kane Hodder doing a lot of the quote-unquote heavy lifting, so to speak, kind of the more James Jude Courtney work that James would have done in the most recent films, the more stunt-heavy work. And that very well could be the case, and they just want to announce that later on. It's certainly plausible. But again, he didn't say that he played Michael Myers. We know that Kane Hodder, he said publicly in many, many years that he'd love to play Michael Myers in an official capacity. Having played Jason, Leatherface, and Freddy at the end of Jason Goes to Hell, it would be the ultimate for him to be able to wear that mask in official capacity. So we know he would love to. And I think, a lot of fans would be into that. So it very well could be that thing. But then again, his exact quote, while it was up there, was worked on this. So, it could be that he worked on the stunts. He coordinated a lot of that stuff. Could be that he did motion capture for other characters. I even heard one wild theory that maybe he's doing the motion capture for Dr. Loomis. which made me kind of laugh. But then I was like, well, I mean, I guess stranger things have happened, I mean, and somebody's going to do it because that's a whole other conversation. Who will be our new Dr. Loomis in this game? Um, and so this, opens up a whole other line of questioning and just thinking and really excitement, if you ask me, because we're going to have a lot of these announcements like this Nick Castle one. This is just the first of many. What do I think the whole scenario is? Yeah, I think it's probably, sometimes the answer. And I think that's probably it. I think, Kane has worked with them before. He's a stunt coordinator. He probably, a lot of the more crazy stuff that maybe Nick wasn't up for. Meanwhile, they've got Nick doing the stuff that he can and that he is known for and that he did in the original movie, like the walk, the head tilt, that type of stuff. And some of the kills, I would imagine, some of the different things. Obviously, the breathing. Now, what's the next reveal going to be? I mean, it could have been that Kane thing, but I think they want to reveal it in their own way, honestly. I think there's going to be a lot of cool reveals coming. I think Carpenter's involvement, I mean, if you watch that announced trailer, which if you haven't watched it, because we don't want to get hit by a copyright violation or anything like that, but watch it if you haven't watched it. It's available at HalloweenDailyNews.com. It does show what appears to be like a Laurie-type character running around on Halloween night, running from the shape. I don't think it's supposed to be Laurie. I don't think it's Laurie. I think it's another Laurie-esque character at this point. But this raises all kind of questions. Is Jamie Lee Curtis going to come in and do any motion capture? Is she going to lend her likeness or voice to any of this? Or not? And if not, are they going to look to somebody on voiceover work and has worked on video games like these before? Christina Cleed was a character whose last name was Myers in the Friday the 13th game. So there's so many cool possibilities, and I think the idea of using a lot of franchise favorites, the Danielle Harrises out there, maybe even reaching out to, like I said, obviously Jamie Lee Curtis, but who knows? Shoot, maybe a Paul Rudd or a Michelle Williams or even a Busta Rhymes or LL Cool J. Maybe it'd be a lot easier for them to get behind the microphone and do a little voiceover work, as opposed to, committing to filming a whole new big project. And maybe that's a way that we could finally get a lot of these characters and at least have some fun Easter egg moments with some of these legacy performers. And a lot of you in the comments have already commented about wanting to play possibly as other characters. That's something I would be curious about too. I'm wanting to play in other time periods, in other films, other than just 78. So far, it definitely seemed like everything is going to be very 1978 based and rooted. At least at launch in 2026 is what it seems to me. We're going to take a look now at some of these stills that have been released in recent days. There's been a lot of them, and they're all pretty stunning and awesome, honestly. And so we're going to take a look at some of them right now. Some official imagery from the game. This is Michael here on one of the back roads. A lot of people were speculating, is it multiplayer only? Is it single player? Is there a story mode? The answer is yes to all of that. I mean, no, it's not multiplayer only. It is multiplayer, does have a multiplayer mode, it does have single player and story modes. So that has been addressed and confirmed. These images of Michael obviously look great. Just really cool. Here he is coming after somebody that looks almost like a Nurse Marion almost to me in the foreground here. And then just some familiar spots. There's no characters here, but this is the living room of the Myers house where Michael comes in. We never have seen it from this angle in the films. We've never seen it from this angle, but Judith and Steve are sitting on that couch before they run upstairs. So this is really cool seeing it like this, knowing that this is inside the Myers house, and how it's going to be so immersive and so 360, and how we're going to be able to explore, presumably go in to all these iconic locations that we know and love, and see them from all the angles that we know and recognize, but also see them from new angles that we've never seen them from, like this. And this is a sign of that, and I think that's going to be amazing. Needless to say, we're going to go to new locations, obviously, that we've been to, new locations that maybe have been mentioned but we haven't seen. And again, all of this existing within 1978, even specifically Halloween 31st, 1978. They can really, don't get me wrong, I do think down the road they should and could and hopefully will explore other films. I think for now it's going to be kind of that Halloween Kills idea of showing the flashback to 78 and giving us moments that you don't get in the movie, or at least different angles of the moments that we did get in the movie. And I think we're going to get a lot of that in this game, which for us, that or at least me, I know that I love the mythology and the lore, and then the whole, what's canon. Of course, this is the Choose Your Own Adventure franchise of all Choose Your Own Adventure franchises, if ever there was one anyway. So this is just another adventure that you can choose, and I think that's pretty awesome. Now, these models of Loomis and Michael that you're going to look at here, this Loomis model for the game is stunning. I don't know if they used Tom Jones Jr. For the motion cap for him. I would guess that maybe they did, because he did so great in Kills and looked so good in Kills. But as good as Christopher Nelson's amazing makeup job was to him in Kills, this looks eerily even better, dare I say. I mean, this is insane. This is insane. Loomis lives. Is all I can say. Loomis lives. I mean, this is insane. Look at that. Look at those eyes. And then, of course, the shape. Michael, his model for in-game. I mean, the mask looks great. I think I saw a comment online that the eyes look too big. In this particular image with this lighting, I would agree they do kind of look a little bit bigger and really kind of make him look almost a little bit sadder than normal. You know what I mean? Like the eyes are kind of in a sadder slant than we typically see. Again, it's all in the lighting and the angles. So I would agree a little bit that they look a little bit off in this photo. But again, it's all in how you like the mask. And the mask itself, from what I can see here, looks great. I love the hair. I think they really nailed that part, which is so hard to get right in real life, in actual, styling. Yeah, he looks great. And again, even when you zoom in, it's the blackest eyes, but I love that you get just that little glint of his actual eye in there, as it should be. All right, here's a few other official images that have been unleashed from the game. Michael encountering a Haddonfield sheriff's officer here. This is a really cool one. This is an official wallpaper that they released over on HalloweenPortal.com, which they've set up a forum there, and they're really, and by they I mean Compass International and the Halloween movies, Halloween Portal, powers that be that are in control of this franchise. They are really making an effort and stating out loud just in the last few days since this announcement that they are listening to fans, and they want this game to be what fans want it to be, and so they're encouraging you guys and to not be shy about letting your feelings and your hopes and your fears for this project be heard. So that's all happening at the Halloween portal, and that's where they've set up a downloads page for stuff like this, which is a high res wallpaper. I think they do. This is the shape stalking someone in a kitchen. Again, I mean, it's kind of that Laurie Strode-esque character that we saw in the announcement trailer. Don't know what character it is. I don't think it is actually Laurie Strode. But I love seeing the knife just kind of gleaming there. And I love all the stuff with the shape in the shadows. So many of these shots where he is framed as Carpenter framed him in the shadows. I think that's awesome. And that all could be, Nick, standing, walking, doing all that. And this is just a great image of the shape, facing off with some of Haddonfield's finest here. Fearless. And there's Nick Castle on set. And then that's going to bring us right up to today. This is the most recent image shared just a few hours ago, just earlier today on Michael Myers Monday. Very fitting. New shot of the shape. And I love the jack-o'-lanterns. You guys know me. I'm always looking for that Halloween atmosphere, but can't have too much of it. Although sometimes some certain projects do have too little of it, honestly. And but this appears to that they've got it right. And yeah, Michael looks great right there. He looks really good. So from everything we're seeing, everything we're hearing, I mean, the most common comment we got on our social media accounts when we were sharing our story about this announcement was that many of you were worried in fear that Gunn, I guess in particular, was going to the game would be abandoned. It was a term we heard a lot because people are not happy with the way Friday the 13th the game ended, and more recently the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. We have a very, what I would say, a very encouraging response to that from no less than Ryan Freeman of Compass International, of course, who is more or less Malik Akkad's right-hand man in all of this stuff. And he has been very vocal and outspoken at times on social media and just very forthcoming, I think. And I appreciate it. He's shared a lot of these images that we looked at tonight. He's the one that put them up for the first time in a lot of cases. And he's been sharing a lot on his own accounts. And he's also been commenting and responding to a lot of fan comments, and including one expressing this fear, and the comment that he was responding to in specific said, "Looks awesome." This was from Instagram. "Looks awesome. I just hope Gunn doesn't gut the game after 2 years like how they did with the TCM game." And Ryan Freeman, to his credit, responded directly to that comment. And this is what he said. He says, quote, "Gunn is not the main developer of the game. Ilphonic is. They have supported long-term development on games like Predator and Killer Clowns. Game will be far more robust than F-13. This was a threshold matter for us." A threshold matter for us. And there was another comment also on Instagram where he responded again, reiterating that Gunn is not the main developer. It is Ilphonic. It is their game, but Gunn is very much a financial partner and supporter And it was also stated on there and made clear that this game, the plan, another threshold matter, as he put it, another post, he said another threshold matter for them was that the future, that this would be a long-term plan and not a game that's going to close up shop after a couple of years, like Texas Chainsaw did. So that, to me, puts a lot of those fears at ease. And again, I wasn't somebody playing those games loyally myself, so I didn't feel the burn when that happened. But for those of you that did, give me your thoughts on those comments. Hopefully that is encouraging to you. It's encouraging to me to hear that, and especially the long-term future aspect, and that was so important to them, and such a threshold matter, in his words. I think that's very important, because if it's, they're going to go for years from now, then that means lots of updates, and that does mean lots of opportunity to go into the different sequel areas, even the sequel masks, at least. Even if it's all 78, you could find interesting ways to work in different looks. You know what I mean? Maybe the H4 mask is still available in 78 or something, or the Silver Shamrock masks become some kind of DLC or something like that. So, and again, we're going to find out so much cool stuff over the next year, like that Nick Castle announcement, like whatever Kane Hodder's involvement and work he did do on this is. It is going to be official at some point, whatever it is. But one really cool bit of behind-the-scenes news that has come out in the last few days that I was very excited about, because, again, I mean, you're making the official Halloween game. So actors, performers are going to do the voices, are going to do the motion capture. I imagine a lot of these are going to be names that we know and recognize, and in many cases, hopefully love. I would hope they're going to have Carpenter do some new music, and certainly license the classic music. I mean, I think that's all a no-brainer. And I mean, in that trailer, it says Malika Todd presents, John Carpenter, executive producer. It said from the initial announcement over a year ago that Carpenter of the game, and him being such a gamer anyway, I think it's a no-brainer. He's going to be intimately involved with this game. I hope so. Certainly on the music side, I hope so in every way. Maybe he's even a voice on the radio at some point or something. Who knows? Maybe he's a character in the game at some point. Possibilities are endless. But I do think that I don't know that John Carpenter wants to direct another film at this point, but I do think he's having a blast making music, playing music, and is going to have a blast working on this game, and is probably having a blast helping, even just advise on it and give his input. I would imagine it's right up his alley of where he's at right now. So one more behind the scenes bit of news I found very cool is who's writing the game. And I was stunned to learn, pleasantly stunned to learn, that Mr. Adam F. Goldberg is one of the writers on Halloween, the game. That's right, Adam F. Goldberg. If you've watched the show The Goldbergs, that Adam F. Goldberg. And I love that show, which referenced Michael Myers and even Silver Shamrock many times. Had Robert Englund actually reprised the role of Freddy Krueger in a Halloween episode. Always did monumental Halloween episodes. He's a writing genius, if you ask me. And I don't say that lightly. Well, just a few days ago, on August 20th, as the trailer and the announcement was getting shared everywhere, Adam F. Goldberg over on X posted saying, "Behold the trailer for Halloween. I've been writing this madness in secret with Hans Rodenoff, Elise Williams, and James Williams for the last year. If you loved F-13 Jason game by IllFonic as much as I did, then you will lose your mind at what we're doing with Michael Myers. You will lose your mind with what we're doing with Michael Myers." Let's let that sink in for just a second, coming from one of the writers, presumably the head writer of this project. I think all of that adds up to everything that I want to hear about this game at this point. And again, it's only been a few days. It's been like 5 days, and we've gotten all that artwork, all that imagery, those comments from Ryan Freeman, which I think are so encouraging. The comments from Malika Khan, of course. Blay Discussing has a whole interview with the lead developer over at Ilphonic. I'm not going to go into that tonight. We'll save that for another discussion. But there's lots more about the different modes the sandbox are going to create. Um, it sounds amazing. You know, we've seen images. They've released shots of the inside of Rabbit and Red and the outside of Smith's Grove Sanitarium. These are going to be places that we're going to be able to go and explore and see characters that, you know, existed and were around and are conceivably canon, at least game canon. You know, it was just moments and places that we weren't seeing, pockets of time in 78 that we weren't seeing. So, all very exciting. Of course, I'm here for it. I don't have a game system for it right now. We got a PS4. I don't have a PS5 or an Xbox or anything, so I don't know. I'm going to have to figure that out. But one of you said hopefully it's going to be downloadable. I imagine they probably will have a downloadable version as well. But it is going to be an exciting year of announcements for this game for sure to follow along. Like I said, even just the amount of behind the scenes talent, voice talent, motion capture talent, people that you know I can really see being involved in really cool ways that have done stuff like this before, like Christina Cleave and Scout Taylor Compton, obviously Kane Hodder, and you know all kinds of other cool, talented people. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I look forward to seeing and hearing more. I look forward to seeing and hearing your comments as we go along. And some of you, many of you, are much more well versed in the gaming world than I am. That is not exactly my backyard in the way that horror movies and TV series and even the comic landscape to an extent are much more in my wheelhouse, in my backyard. Even music, all that type of stuff. Gaming, not so much. I love the games that I've played that Michael has guested on. I love the 16-bit Retro Realms Halloween game that came out last year. I thought that was a lot of fun, kind of Super Mario Brothers style Michael Myers, that's my style of gaming right there. My son Uzziah, on the other hand, yeah, he's a major gamer, and he's going to kill it at this. And I do remember, what little bit I played of the Friday the 13th game. I loved that, and I loved even just from afar seeing the excitement, the community, the masks. When they did the Savini mask in the game and everything, and working all that stuff in there, I thought that was really cool. Everything they were doing over there. So yes, high hopes for me, and I think for a lot of you guys too, that this game is going to be able to incorporate some of that stuff, and I think they will. I think they'll find really cool ways to, even if licenses don't allow them to do certain things directly. I think there's a lot of cool ways to do things indirectly. Even if you don't have Danielle Harrison there playing Jamie Lloyd necessarily, you could have Danielle Harrison there playing a Jamie Lloyd type character that we'd all get, and maybe her name is even Jamie. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just using that as an example. I don't know why they wouldn't have a license to that particular character. I think they probably would of all of them, but just using that as an example. But I would hope they are reaching for the stars as far as like alumni talent. Like I said, Josh Hartnett and Michelle Williams just go big. I would go big on it. Um, so now I want to hear from you guys about everything we've talked about with Halloween, the video game. It's about a year away. I imagine it's going to take every bit of that year for them to, get this thing up and going. But then again, it seems like they've been working for a while with everything they're already releasing about it, and the fact that they were able to accomplish what they've already been able to accomplish so far in secret, I think is great. And I love how open everybody seems to be right now at this moment and moving forward. So I think there's going to be more of that. And, and those comments, again, from Ryan Freeman, I think are so encouraging about the future. So it makes me excited because, again, if I'm going to play this game and get into it, then I'm going to have to buy a whole new gaming system, most likely, just for that purpose. So yeah, that's going to be a bit of an investment if I do that. So it's going to have to be known that it's going to be around for a while and be in it for the future. So, all right, give me your thoughts on all of that. As we've been talking here, as I've been yapping, give me your thoughts on all of that down in the comments below and right here in the live chat. I want to hear from you guys. As we've been talking, we did launch a new poll tonight. Not surprisingly, it is all about the video game. And we know from everything they've put out that we're going to be able to play as Michael Myers. They've said that. And you're also going to be able to play as what they're calling, I think they're calling heroes. Is that what they called them? Other residents of Haddonfield. They haven't specified babysitters. They're not calling them victims. And there's a lot of speculation of who that could be and what that could be, if they're going to be like new characters or existing characters and all. But then there's been talk and just questions in our socials on the comments about, will there be other characters that we can play? Can we play other characters? Wouldn't it be cool if we can play other characters? Other characters from 78, other characters from sequels. And again, I am here for all that. I think that would be amazing. I think it would be amazing, honestly, to be able to play as Michael and as Loomis. And you could be good guy or bad guy and kind of do that even as a starting point. And then, yeah, they can incorporate other characters from the other films, the other eras of films. Even if they can incorporate other locations from other films, like the Tower Farm from H5, the Rabbit in Red, but as it appeared in 07, maybe, the more rundown version. The possibilities are endless. Laurie Strode's Red House from Inns, or the house that burned down before it burns down in 2018. Maybe it could be something like that. But for tonight's poll, it is asking, not surprisingly, what character other than Michael Myers are you most excited to possibly, or would you be most excited to play? That's the question for tonight. That's tonight's poll question. What character other than Michael Myers would you be most excited to be able to play as in the Halloween video game? And the four options that we put up there are Dr. Loomis, Laurie Strode, Jamie Lloyd, or how about Corey Cunningham? Of course, if there's a character that you'd be more excited to play other than those four, then write that character in the comments. And you never know who's watching. We do know for a fact, though, that they are listening and they are paying attention to you guys. They're using the Halloween portal to get your info, to get your input. To get your info, yes, but to get your input as well on this game. And you better believe that they're listening, to forums like this as well, to see what people are saying, because there is still time, and I think that's one of the cool things is there's time to tweak some of these things. But so far, it sounds like they're saying all the right things. But again, I'm not the gamer here. You guys tell me what you think, especially you guys that are true gamers and live and breathe that world. give me your thoughts, especially on these more recent comments from Ryan Freeman and the news about Nick Castle, and then what do you make of Kane deleting the comment, and when is that going to come to light, whatever that is. In any case, I think a lot of cool, fun, exciting announcements to come. A lot of big reveals happening. It's going to be fun covering it. Of course, we're going to be here covering it. I look forward to talking to a lot of the people involved in the game eventually, including hopefully some of the actual game developers working at Elphonic. I'd love that. So we're going to be working on a lot of that stuff now and moving forward over the next 12 to 13 months until that thing is released next Halloween. So give me your thoughts on all of that. Let me hear what you think in the poll, too, as far as which character you'd be most excited to play other than the Shape. And again, you never know. The powers that be might be looking at that poll. So don't be shy in the comments down there or in the comments here on this live stream. All right. Let's oh, you know what? Before we do shout outs, I am going to I said we might do one flashback video. I'm going to give you one flashback video. We were talking about music earlier, and that's the other big story since our last live stream. You know, the top story right now is the game, but right under that is these expanded editions, and I am so stoked for this. And I cannot talk about the Halloween soundtracks or John Carpenter music at all without talking about, again, my exclusive conversation with the great Daniel Davies, which took place last year in early May of 2024. Actually, on release day is when we recorded the conversation, on release day of Lost Themes Volume 3, Noir. And that was what we were talking about, but we talked about everything. And so whenever I'm talking about John Carpenter music, I got to plug and own my awesome interview with Daniel Davies. I say awesome because he's awesome, and I'm so proud of it. And it was just such an awesome experience. So before we go into shout-outs and get out of here for tonight, I am going to play a short flashback clip for you guys from my 2024 conversation with Daniel Davies, of course, guitarist for John Carpenter. And this is Daniel talking just a little bit about working on the soundtracks for these Halloween films. Check it out. Now, at what point did the idea, the prospect of doing the 2018 Halloween film enter into this? Because again, this was another moment where, like, for Michael Myers fanatics and Halloween fans, Carpenter fans, I mean, it seems like a no-brainer. And I've heard Malik Akkad say it was like the first call he made once things were getting in motion was to John. But when did you guys, like, what's your kind of earliest memories of conversations, stirrings that, hey, maybe we're gonna work on this Halloween 2018 soundtrack?
I think how it started was David Gordon Green and Danny McBride had presented an idea to John and wanted to include him and Jamie Lee Curtis, and I think Malik Akkad and Blumhouse were all working on an idea, and then later, you know, John said, "Oh, they might be making a Halloween, and maybe we should see about doing the music." Talk to David Gordon Green about it, and David Gordon Green thought that was a great idea, and then it just kind of evolved from there, and then they then we were doing it, you know, and it was really fun to do that. It was amazing, you know, to be with, like, you know, I remember, like, we had written a whole bunch of music for the film, and it was the first time that David Gordon Green came and sat with us, and, you know, sitting with John and him together making the movie and helping that story evolve was really incredible, you know.
And were you, obviously, like you said, in your younger years, it doesn't even register that John created Michael Myers and all of these iconic films. At this point, are you a fan of Michael Myers, of these films at all yourself, and just as a film fan yourself?
But yeah, I mean, I like a lot of John's movies,
Hmm.
and yeah, I feel like Halloween has a very unique feel,
Yeah,
and I like that. And I think David Gordon Green's 2018 one had a kind of a connection to that feel. He kind of kept that going, and then over the other two movies he did, that the third one then really I felt like became his own, and
yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, once I was a teenager, what's happening, and but yeah, I mean, it's great to be a small part of that.
Well, and I was going to ask that if like there was a point where you're working on this soundtrack and you're like inside maybe just geeking out a little bit that this is the return of, because again, for us fans, it had been a long time since the last time we had a Michael Myers movie of any kind, and much less with John's involvement in the soundtrack. I mean, this was like a huge deal, for us anyway. Was there ever like a moment just even inside where you're just thinking, man, this is pretty awesome?
Yeah, there was a moment in so we had like a first sort of rough cut of the film that we were working on, and it didn't have the opening titles yet, so we hadn't put
Okay.
the theme in,
Hmm.
John's original theme, and there's a long first person shot in that movie through the houses. Do you remember that?
Yes, yes.
And from Michael Myers' perspective, and we put in that's where we put in the Halloween theme for the first time, and the movie became Halloween suddenly, and it was amazing. It was a really exciting moment. Like you get goosebumps, and so that was one I remember. That was quite striking, and just a great memory from doing that. And you know, it's that those movies just have just a couple minutes of the original themes, and then we wrote an hour and a half of more original music for those movies in each one. And um, but those to be a part of those original themes and all that music, it was just so much fun. We just have such a great time doing it, and uh, that just those kind of movies are just so fun.
Oh yeah, I loved doing that interview. Obviously, huge fan of Daniels and all of them. Just a lot of fun, and I'm appreciative for him to take the time to do that last year. Check out the full interview if you haven't already, or if you just want to rewatch it like a good rerun. Goldberg's has great reruns. You guys, Brett was commenting on how great Goldberg's is as a show. It is so good, and they've done so many awesome episodes, specifically awesome Halloween episodes. Check them out. They've referenced a ton of cool horror movies, including Halloween, and even specifically Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, one of my favorite references that they did. Really cool stuff in there. Um, check all that out. And check out my full interview with Daniel Davies in the interviews section of this channel. And now we're going to do just a couple shout outs real quick before we get out of here. You know how it works. Every week it's Michael Myers Monday, and we scour the interwebs for the best posts. Nah, that's not true. They're not necessarily the best. They're just random ones that tend to catch my eye for whatever reason, and we pick out a couple random ones and share them from each of the socials. And now there's so many socials, we don't even hit all of the socials anymore. But tag us nonetheless. We'll repost you. We'll retweet you. We'll reshare you. We'll talk you and retick you and whatever, rethread you, all that good stuff. All right, starting it off over on the gram. This is posted by my name's Taylor. Happy Michael Myers Monday, courtesy of my awesome son, they say. Tagging James, Jude, Courtney, and Tyler Maine. And I love this shot of this little Michael cosplayer. We love the new blood here. Gotta love it. Future shape. One more from the gram this week. This is posted by Allison FX. Okay. Happy Monday. Hashtag Michael Myers Monday. And of course, recreating the iconic Nick Castle image from the set with the Dr. Pepper with a 2018 mask. And what is that pumpkin drink? That is some kind of interesting pumpkin ale. It looks like she's feeding the mask there. And I just noticed the Michael Myers shirt as well with Dave's clown mask and the bloody knives, the different Michael masks. Yeah, got it going on. Great job, Allison. All right, jumping over to threads now. This is posted today by Halloween with Ty. Burlap meets the Boogeyman. Sam is keeping the rules alive this Michael Myers Monday. And you guys know how much I love Sam in the movie Trick or Treat. So any type of marriage of Michael and Sam is perfect in my book. Love this image. Sam getting into Michael Myers Monday. Jumping over to TikTok. This is posted by Crimson Ghost Flynn Galleon. And wishing us a Michael Myers Monday. A happy Michael Myers Monday, I should say. One more from TikTok. This was posted by user 3237263625134. Happy Monday. Happy Michael Myers Monday. And boy, this Michael is he's been through a bloodbath. That was a cool quick stab. Good job. All right, and one more today from good old Fake Book. The old Fake Book. And this is a classic, one of the original Michael Myers Monday memes ever created over 13 years ago when we started this thing. And this was posted today by Michael Myers, Haddonfield, Illinois page. Me enjoying my weekend as Ben Tramer, and then here comes Dick Warlock as police officer number 3 in that police car ramming into poor Ben Tramer like Monday taking me out. I think we've all had Mondays like that. Any days like that we can all relate. This is one of the classic, original, old school Michael Myers Monday memes of all time. And it's what I'm always talking about, how Michael Myers Monday has taken on its own meaning to people. Some people use it as, hey, attack Monday, attack the week the way Michael attacks. Others use it as, oh my God, not another Monday attacking me the way Michael attacks. Or this one, so original. Michael not even in it, but still works absolutely brilliantly for Michael Myers Monday. One of my all-time favorites. Easily one of my all-time favorites. Absolutely love it. All right, so be sure to tag us in your Michael Myers Monday posts on whatever socials you're on, or on all of the above. And like I said, we'll repost, reshare, retweet, tick, retalk, whatever. We love to see it. We'll like it. We'll share it. And all we ask is you guys return the favor, do the same for us, spread the word. And if you liked what you saw here tonight, then hey, we do this type stuff all the time here, especially when it comes to the shape. And we got a lot of Michael Myers exciting news to talk about over the next year leading up to this video game. Lots of other stuff coming. Yes, I am working on an update on the TV series. We're going to find out if that is, if it's still happening and where it's at. And we're going to be talking about that very soon as well. Lots of cool things planned. For now, look for our behind-the-scenes tour of Woods of Terror coming later this week. channel members can check it out right now as we get out of here. And everybody else in the general public, you can check it out in a couple days. Think about becoming a channel member. It's just $5 a month, and it goes a long way in supporting this channel and helping us keep the lights on and do what we do here. So if you like what we do here, become a channel member. That's one of the best ways you can support. Also, hitting any of those affiliate links that we're always sharing. It doesn't affect your cost at all. It doesn't affect your sale at all. It doesn't change anything. All it does is we make a very, very small commission off of those sales. And again, it goes a very long way in helping us out and helping keep the lights on here at HDN. And we appreciate all of your support. And I appreciate all of you guys for hanging out tonight. Let me know, finally, let me know what you think about the earlier time slot. Here we are, we're wrapping up. It's not even 10:31 p.m. here on the East Coast when we normally start. This is very odd and very different, but I don't know. I feel like my energy was a little more up at this hour, for whatever that's worth. Did you guys notice a difference at all? Let me know if so, one way or the other. Did you have a strong preference, one way or the other? You know, are you married to the later slot? I definitely, have grown accustomed to it, grown comfortable there, but I do recognize, looking at YouTube analytics, that we could probably attract more new blood to the community if we did it a little bit earlier, like we did tonight. It feels like we brought in some new blood tonight. So if that's you that I'm talking about, then welcome, and we appreciate you. And of course, to everybody else, all of our returning friends, you guys rock. You're the best, and I mean that, the best community on the internet, fan community, YouTube community, live chat community, whatever you want to call it. You guys rock. You're the best. And if you were here tonight, then you're part of it. Happy Michael Myers Monday to all of you. Keep it killer, guys. We're going to do this again soon. It's our time now. Hey, when we gather the next time for a Monday, it's going to be September. And that's basically essentially fall. And not like it's ever not Halloween around here, but it's kind of hard for even the haters to stop us now. It's our time now, right? That's right, guys. Happy Halloween. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Thank you all so much for being here. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We'll see you again very soon. Until then, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you all so much for hanging out and for watching and for participating this evening. You guys rock. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Good night, Haddonfield.